I'll be happy to try and answer it.
I have a question, Stuart.
Yes.
It's just again on the when you love someone, how to not attach and become dependent on them.
That's, Alicia, it's completely dependent upon how strong your inner life is.
Mm.
If you're living in an emotional turmoil, you will be dependent. You will be jealous, you will be this, you will be that. But if you build a chakra system and you have that grounding, the mind is quiet, the heart is open, your capacity to love somebody objectively, and to truly love them for exactly who they are and unconditionally without being attached to them grows. Your ability to do that grows. But as long as one is enmeshed in that endless drama of emotions, which bring on anger, insecurity, fear, etc., understand we will always be dependent upon another person. Now, being independent doesn't mean we don't love. In fact, being independent of another human being probably enables us to love them a lot deeper. We don't possess them. They don't possess us. You understand? If we're possessed by anything, it's by God, by a higher force of energy in the universe. And then we bring to them love, we bring to them our independence, we bring to them our security, we bring to them, unconditional love. We allow them to be, and we love them for who they are, not for who we think they're supposed to be, which gives, people the freedom to grow in their lives. And this is completely dependent upon how strong one's inner life is, how developed the chakra system is in a human being. Otherwise, everybody has opinions and everybody knows what's better for everybody else. And the last person they ever see is themselves. So I think that is such an integral part of our work here, the meditation, because without attaining that kind of stability inside, we are lost in a kind of a swamp of emotions that keep us, dependent and codependent and et cetera, et cetera. And also we possess other people. And we think, that, and honestly, in this life, you can't possess anybody. Every human being is unique and independent, even if people don't even know it. And everybody brings with them whatever their baggage is. And if you get involved in a relationship, you don't just, I always kid around, but there was this comedian, there is a comedian named Chris Rock, who I'll never forget this. He was giving this stand-up thing on television, and he said, when you fall in love with somebody, you don't fall in love with them, you fall in love with their agent. You only find out, you know, who you've fallen in love with like 6 months later, a year later, and it's a very different person than you originally fell in love with. And for that relationship to last, one has to have a lot of detachment. And one can't go into that relationship thinking that they know better how another person should live. You go into that relationship loving somebody unconditionally and discovering all the different aspects of them and who they are and what they are, and loving them and giving them the room to grow and change in their lives. And I think that if you're completely wrapped up in your emotions and anger and jealousy and et cetera, you can't live that way. You can't give another person the freedom of their life. You possess them. And it takes the development of a chakra system, and a strong one, where you're grounded, the heart is open, you have managed to use the sexual energy in a way that you can have a spiritual life, as well as have a sexual life with another human being. The mind is quiet, the throat is open, and you give somebody the freedom to be, and you have the freedom to be. Now, this is not easy to do because we're so conditioned to live exactly the other way. From the day we're born, we're taught that we must control, we must possess, we must, and all of that has to be broken down. And true love is unconditional love. And then there's also the ability to say, no, I cannot be used as somebody else's possession. I cannot be, the victim of somebody else's, being a vampire, sucking my energy out of me, eating me alive. No, you have the strength to say, no, I will not live this way. And then either the person changes or you can get out of the relationship. But it takes a tremendous inner strength to be able to live this way. And most of life is conditioning people to possess, to control, to be jealous, to be, manipulative, and all that stuff that just creates a nightmare in the life of everybody. And it's such a profound aspect of this meditation because we all have family, we have relationships, we have friends, we have people that are in our lives, and we need to learn to deal with all of that consciously. And in order to deal with it consciously, we have to build an inner life that makes it possible to do it. I mean, is there anything better than loving somebody, than waking up next to somebody that you love, than spending part of your day with somebody that you love? I mean, it's wonderful. But it can't exist unless we give the person the freedom of their life and we don't possess them and they don't possess us. And that has to do with parents and children, and husbands and wives and boyfriends and girlfriends.
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear. It's really the first step in having a spiritual life, is this human thing, getting it together. We're born on the earth to learn how to be human beings. That's why we come here. And all of that stuff is part of learning how to be a human being.
Stuart, when you say energy vampire, do you mean when someone is possessing you or being jealous towards you and saying no to that kind of thing?
Yes,
Yeah.
when people have that kind of codependency where they need to possess you, you are their toy, you are their possession. You understand? It's based on a tremendous weakness inside them and deep insecurity that doesn't allow them to give another human being the freedom to truly live their life. You know how many students, I mean, I used to have students, and I still have students, this is really true. They would come to me, they hadn't had a boyfriend or a girlfriend in 5 years, 8 years, and they would study for 6 months with me and their whole chemistry changed. They suddenly became beautiful. And some person would fall in love with them. And then the person would bitch and complain about them coming to my classes. You know, that they have to be the sole center of this other person's attention. And I generally have lost a lot of students that way because, you know, people, you know, got so wrapped up in these relationships and they were possessed by them that they just drifted away and never realized what made it possible for them to have the relationship in the first place. The changes that took place in them, how suddenly they became beautiful people. Because beauty is not this Vogue magazine crap, you know? Beauty is in the human heart. When the human heart really opens, people become physically beautiful. There's something in them that's extraordinary when the heart truly opens.
It's 2 o'clock.
And other people are attracted, they fall in love, and then they get jealous of exactly what gave them that kind of beauty. I can't tell you how many people I've had in my life that way. It used to just blow my socks away. Now I'm kind of used to it. You know, at first I'm like, God, it's extraordinary. This real beauty is in the heart. Real beauty is not one's, you know, as I say, Vogue magazine, you know, they have these kind of women that, you know, men, and, you know, real beauty is in the human heart. When that opens, people become beautiful. And they begin to attract other people into their lives. Then the danger is what I just expressed. Do those other people want to control them and possess them?
Wow.
Hmm?
I just said, wow.
Yeah. I've seen this. Look, I've been doing this a really long time. And I have seen this happen so many times. At first, it used to make me crazy. And then I finally said, no, Stuart, you have to let go of these people and they have to find their way through the world. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart?
Yes.
I'm wondering if when we are meditating, that we are feeling the energy of each other here, not just yours energy.
Well, that's just reminding you that you're not going deep enough inside yourself to detach yourself from it.
I didn't know what is happening. I get today.
I just told you, they are a good reminder. This is not a negative thing, Flora. It is being reminded that you have to go deeper into yourself. That's what all that external noise is all about. Reminding you that you need to go deeper into yourself, to detach yourself from all of those voices, that noise, that, you know.
I'm not talking about noise. I'm talking about the energy that we have here in the group, when we are together with you.
It's another thing. Then you have to go deeper and take the energy in.
Because it's so heavy for me.
Huh?
It's very heavy for me. And I can, sometimes I cannot breathe. And sometimes when I talk to you.
Okay, well, let's backtrack a little bit, dear. It's heavy because you're not opening deep enough to receive it. That's it. You are blocking it from going into you. That's what's creating the heaviness. If you open deep enough, suddenly there will be a lightness of being in you that will take you to a completely different place in your life.
I do my best.
No, I know. Look at you. I keep telling you this every time, right? I remember the day you came to me, I said, oh my God, look what I got to deal with here. And I look at you today and you become beautiful. You become beautiful, Laura. Now let the beauty go even deeper. That's all.
Okay.
I mean it. You look 20 years younger than when I first saw you. I mean it. And I'm not just complimenting you, I'm telling you the truth. Let the beauty go deeper. Let the energy go deeper. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, if there are no more questions, then God bless you all. I mean, really. I mean, I come to every one of these classes with such gratitude in my heart that I can sit here and do this with all of you and open and allow God to take me wherever God wants to take me, you know, inside myself so that I can truly get closer to a oneness with higher energy. So God bless you all for being here and thank you. And there'll be a class on Sunday and I'm looking forward to seeing you all. Bless you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. God bless you too.
You.